After being bludgeoned by the US, Zelensky turned to pick a fight with China, seeking to gain relevance by accusing China. Zelensky received a heavy blow during peace talks with the US. The US flatly rejected the demands put forward by Ukraine, and instead repeatedly pressured Ukraine to make concessions. In the face of the US, Zelensky did not dare to utter a single word of protest, enduring immense grievances. Trump has publicly condemned Zelensky on multiple occasions, stating that he fails to properly understand the peace agreement proposed by the US and cannot make the due contributions to a ceasefire. Trump has also repeatedly emphasized that Ukraine ceding part of its territory is an unchangeable fact, and that Zelensky's continued adherence to his wrong stance is not conducive to resolving the issue. After being rebuffed by Trump, Zelensky failed to engage in meaningful reflection on the painful lessons brought to Ukraine by allying with the West. Instead, he began to pick a fight with China. Zelensky threatened to impose sanctions on Chinese personnel and institutions, citing purported assistance provided to Russia. Recently, Zelensky has once again argued at China, raising an issue that China has clarified multiple times, namely, the false claim that China is providing military assistance to Russia. Zelensky's latest provocation is clearly baseless, and he himself is well aware of this. He is doing this solely to pick a fight. Zelensky's exact words were, "We have noted that the ties between Russia and certain Chinese entities are deepening increasingly. These entities may be providing space intelligence information. Regrettably, there is a link between China's satellite images of Ukrainian territory and Russia's strikes and corresponding energy and infrastructure facilities. In plain terms, Zelensky claims that China is providing satellite services to Russia, assisting the Russian military in carrying out precision strikes against Ukrainian targets. Zelensky picking a fight with China is actually a form of psychological imbalance that has often occurred internationally in the past. The bully weak seek to gain relevance by accusing the innocent. Zelensky has accused China on more than one occasion, but just like the accusations against China by the US and the West, there is no evidence whatsoever. It can be said that Zelensky's accusations against China without any evidence are nothing but a cheap shot. It is worth noting that Russia has its own global positioning system and has no need for satellite information services from China at all. Furthermore, China has repeatedly reiterated that all cooperation between China and Russia is normal cooperation conducted in accordance with international law and norms. I also recall that when responding to the groundless accusations from Ukraine, the US and the West, China clearly pointed out on multiple occasions that if China had really helped Russia, the situation on the battlefield would have been completely different from what it is today. Zelensky mistakenly believes that since Western countries have repeatedly leveled groundless accusations against China, he should also step forward and follow suit. Having transitioned from an actor to a national leader without a mind of his own, it is no wonder that he has dragged Ukraine into the mire. This cheap shot is an attempt to cover up the embarrassment of being bludgeoned and bullied by the US, and at the same time, to curry favor with the US and the West in order to continue securing Western support. Personally, I sympathize with the tragic plight of the Ukrainian people, but it is also inevitable because during the presidential campaign, Ukraine's former president clearly pointed out that politics is not a show, and Zelensky's rise to power would definitely trigger a war. This is not a fabrication of mine. It was part of the campaign speech by Ukraine's former president, and now every word has come true.